Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam Paramanandamadhavam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashaadhyayini Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. The first verse of the Gita Panchamrita that we saw in the morning. As you read, see if you can memorize. Together. Uddharedatmanatmanam Natmanam avasadaye Atmaiva hyatmano bandhu Atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Uddhared, lift up yourself. Uddhared atmana atmanam. Lift up yourself by yourself. Lift up yourself by yourself. Lift up yourself by yourself. What is the first yourself? First yourself is you, the individual. Lift up yourself. By yourself, what is that yourself? By your own intelligence, by your own buddhi, by your own manas buddhi, you lift it up. What kind of buddhi will help you lift up yourself? Shastra Samskrita buddhi. A buddhi guided by the Shastra. Lift up yourself by yourself. Na atmanam apasadayet. Don't push yourself down more and more. Don't push yourself, don't drown yourself more and more. Meaning try to solve the problem. Don't aggravate the problem. Don't push yourself. What is it yourself? Don't push your individual. Don't push your individual self more and more. Na atmanam avasadayet. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu. You are your well-wisher. Atma eva atmano bandhu. So in this statement, Atma eva atmano bandhu. So yourself is yourself's well-wisher. So first yourself is what? Your own Samskrita buddhi. You are your well-wisher. You are your friend. You are your support. Okay? Meaning, the Samskrita buddhi is the support. Shastra Samskrita buddhi is your support, well-wisher. And Atmaiva Rupuratmanaha. You are your enemy. That means what? That buddhi which is not Samskrita with the Shastra, that buddhi which doesn't follow the teachings of the Shastra. Now, for example, Bhagavad Gita. The buddhi, knowing the teaching, does not follow the teaching. That buddhi is what? That buddhi is the enemy. A controlled mind is friend. An uncontrolled mind is enemy. A wise mind is friend. An unwise mind is enemy. Okay? In other words, you are in charge of yourself. Any well-wisher, any external well-wisher, any external guide have got a limited role to play. The greatest guru still will have a limited role to play. The highest scripture still will have a limited role to play. You have to check what is that you can improve in yourself and improve yourself. Spiritual progress is evolution, not a revolution. Evolution happens in increments. Evolution happens slowly. Revolution happens fast with bloodshed. You see how a flower blossoms. How does a flower blossom? Becomes a bud, right? And bud to flower takes its time. But it is natural. It evolves. It grows. The same way, we also have to evolve and grow. We cannot think that I have known, now I am changed. No. You know, and then you practice little by little. Every time you are able to do what you have decided, you have crossed one step. Every time I have decided I will get up morning at this time. You're sticking to it. Then you are growing. Every time you cancel your own decision, you are your own enemy. Okay? Evolution, not a revolution. Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadaye atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. What is the meaning of lifting oneself? Where is one fallen now? In samsara. Where should one lift oneself? One should lift oneself to moksha. What is samsara? Being the BMI is samsara. And what is moksha? Knowing one's true nature to be consciousness, to be Paramatma, to be Brahman is moksha, which is called as yoga. Now from samsara, you take yourself to yoga. Yoga is union. Right? You have fallen where? In samsara. Where have you to lift yourself? You have to lift yourself to moksha. But samsara and moksha we must understand. This is not that you have fallen down into some ditch or somewhere. Okay? I have fallen into samsara means what? I am in ignorance. Ignorance is wrong understanding of oneself. And what is liberation? Liberation is right understanding whereby we remain in our true nature. Swarupena avasthanam in Sanskrit, if you want to say. Remaining as yourself. My true nature is consciousness. My true nature is one with Paramatman. That is not something new. That is nature. Moksha is my nature. Consciousness is my nature. If consciousness is my nature, liberation is my nature. Bondage is because of ignorance. Ignorance is not fact. Ignorance only dilutes. Ignorance cannot change the fact. Can ignorance change the fact? No. Because of ignorance, you see the rope to be snake. Does the rope actually become snake? No. Because of ignorance, you see yourself as BMI. Does it change your true nature of being consciousness? No. Ignorance cannot change the facts. Ignorance only can delude us. And delusion is sufficient for sorrow. You see the snake and then you become frightened. Is it not? Sometimes you're so frightened, you faint also. You say, I am stung by the snake. Which snake? Rope. You fainted. And they're taking you to hospital also. Suddenly someone comes, where is the snake? Where is the snake? But you fainted. Suddenly you tell her, no, there's a snake, you see. But it is rope. Then they tell you it is rope. And suddenly you say, yeah, it is not paining. And you wake up and you get up. Then look at everybody. Say, thank you very much. Give me a glass of water. Right? Ignorance does not change the facts, but ignorance deludes us and we suffer. Samsara is because of ignorance. All these points we have seen in the morning. So where should one lift oneself? One should lift oneself to yoga. Yoga is union. And this also, just as falling into samsara is only metaphorical, in the same way uniting with God is also metaphorical. Uniting with God. Sometimes in the movies they will show one flame of lighted and gets up. And then goes to Bhagavan Vishnu and joins. Don't think something from here will get up. After Gita Panchamrita I studied. No. These are all poetical, symbolical. If falling in samsara, the word falling is a poetical expression. In the same way, union with God is also poetical, metaphorical, symbolical, whatever word you want to use. Okay? So yoga is where we have to. So fallen into samsara, rise yourself and become a yoga rudha. The Bhagavad Gita, this word will come. Yoga rudha. Ascend to yoga. How many of you have studied this chapter 6? Have you come across chapter 6? Yes. Anyone who has studied Master Gita, Master Life? Yes. Bhagavad Gita course. You will find the word yoga rudha. So that is what Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling. Become a yoga rudha. That means what? Ascend to yoga. That means what? Unite with your true nature. Recognize yourself to be consciousness and become liberated. Uddharet, lift up yourself by yourself. Now the point is, sometimes, see, one is to understand this. One is to be convinced of this. Yes, I am pure consciousness. Sometimes with a little bit of Vedanta study, you can even get the conviction. In some manner you can get conviction. Yes, I am consciousness. I am not this body. I am not a man. I am not an individual. I am consciousness. I am not this sickly body. I am not this healthy body. Sickly body becomes healthy body becomes sickly body. You cannot, body is body. Nobody can have permanent sickness, nobody can have permanent, health. These all changed. Alright? Even some, permanent diseases also, when you die. When you die means when the body dies, it is gone, disease is gone. Nothing is permanent in this impermanent world. So, when it is said, you unite with God, when it is said like that, then one says, yes, I am of the nature of consciousness. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not this intellect. But that knowledge is only till you sit in the Vedanta class. When you get up and go, then Vedanta also goes. It happens like that. In other words, knowledge is not steady. Our understanding is not still perfect. That means, what is the problem? The problem is not with knowledge. Your understanding. But where is the problem? The problem is in retention. Retention of knowledge is the problem. But retention of knowledge? What do you mean by retention? Retention is not memorization here. Retention is of the nature of abidance in the knowledge. It's not there. Why abidance in knowledge is not there? Because the mind is not capable of holding that knowledge. Mind has to be capable of holding that knowledge. Why is the mind not capable of holding the knowledge? The mind is not pure enough. Spiritual progress is measured in clarity and purity. Is measured in terms of what? Clarity and purity. Sometimes clarity may be there, purity may not be there. Sometimes purity may be there, clarity may not be there. Both are required. Like how a bird has got two wings to fly. One wing, when the bird fly, it will go in circles only. You need two wings. One is a wing of purity, another is a wing of clarity. Clarity comes by understanding. Purity comes by freeing the mind of the weaknesses. One important weakness of the mind, or what can you say, many weaknesses of the mind is there. Each one has to find what it is. But the root of all weakness is ego. Ego means, don't think, in the world we say he's a very egoistic person. I'm not talking of that egoism. That is weakness, no doubt. But when I say ego, I'm talking of the root of all weaknesses. And what is the root of all weaknesses? The sense of individuality. In Vedanta we call it as ahankara. Ahankaram. Ahankara is what? I am so and so. Right? Even when you say, I am a man. I'm a man, any problem? I'm a woman, any problem? No. As long as a man thinks he's a man, no problem. As long as a woman thinks a woman, no problem. I am man, I am woman is a problem in Vedanta. How do you say it is a problem in Vedanta? Because that is not the truth, therefore it is a problem. What is truth? I am consciousness, this is the truth. But I am a man, I am a woman is also a problem. This, I am a so and so, caused by identification with the body, mind, intellect. This I thought is called ego in Vedanta. Ego, E-G-O. In ego, I goes. That's called ego. The true I goes is called ego. And every problem is only an emanation from this. Any weakness is because of ego. You check it out. You cannot have a problem without the ego. I am angry. Who's angry? I. So before anger, who has to be there? I has to be there. I am greedy. Greed is a problem, but greed will have to have I. I am jealous. Problem, weakness. But again, what is the source? I. We try to stop the other problems. Anger, I should conquer anger. Swamiji, can you tell a method to conquer anger? Then they will tell you, anger is coming from desire, conquer desire. Then you'll ask, how to conquer desire? Desire comes because, wherever you go, you will find you are only able to solve the problem superficially, because the real problem is the problem of I. The real problem is the problem of I. As long as one has not solved the problem of I, all problems will be there. Okay? So we said what? Spiritual progress is measured by two. What did we say? Clarity, purity. Clarity by understanding. What we are doing now is for clarity. And what is purity? Purity is that because of which we are able to abide in our clarity. Purity is that because of which we are able to abide in our clarity. And abidance is through the mind. Abidance is through the mind. And unless the mind is purified, this abidance cannot be there. And purity of the mind is to enable the mind being free of the impurities such as desire, anger, greed. In Sanskrit we have this Shadrupus: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These are in short the enemies. Shadrupus. These are in short the impurities. What are the impurities? It's 6. Kama. How do you translate Kama? Desire. From desire comes what? Krodha, anger. When desire is not fulfilled, what happens? This expresses as Krodha. That's why we say from desire comes anger. And desire when fulfilled, what will happen? Do you think desire will go away? No. It will become Lobha, greed. So Kama becomes Krodha when not fulfilled. And Kama becomes Lobha, greed, when fulfilled. Okay? Then Moha. Moha is a delusion. When you lose your connection with the present, that is called delusion. When you lose your connection with the present, it is called delusion. A person who is angry talks nonsense. Highly learned person. But all foul words come from that fellow. Whatever words he does not remember also comes at that time. He doesn't know when he got that word inside. Moha. Kruddha gurumapi akroshati. An angry fellow will talk nonsense to even his guru. Tell the mother, you are not my mother at all. Go. Tell the father, I care nothing for you. All kinds of things he will talk. He or she will talk. Okay. So kama, krodha, lobha, moha. Anger can also cause this. Greed can also cause this. And when your greed is fulfilled, or when a desire is fulfilled, will come what? Called ego. Mother, pride. Right? Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada. And when your desire is not fulfilled, and you see somebody having that, then what will happen? Matsarya, jealousy. And all these weaknesses of the mind, all these impurities of the mind, because of which we are not able to abide in our clarity, they have root cause one. And what is that? What is that root cause of all of them? Ego, ahankara. As long as this ahankara is strong, impurities of the mind cannot be removed. Okay? What did I say? As long as the ego remains strong, impurities of the mind cannot be removed. Okay? And therefore, the technique to remove the impurities of the mind is what? You may solve one karma, another karma will come. You may try to think, I have crossed, krodha I have conquered. Now pride will come. I have conquered anger. One you think you have conquered, other will come. So conquering kama, krodha, lobha, moha is not going to work out. You have to actually conquer the root of them, the source of them. And that is what? Ego. And the technique of sublimating the ego is karma yoga. And that is why we say karma yoga purifies the heart. You must have heard, is it not? Karma yoga purifies. Have you heard this statement? Karma yoga purifies the heart. How does karma yoga purifies the heart? Karma yoga purifies the heart by surrendering the ego, by sublimating the ego, by giving an altar other than the ego for all our actions. And therefore karma yoga is a very powerful technique. And people have a lot of misunderstanding about karma yoga. People think karma yoga means to keep on acting, morning to night, work, work, work. That is called karma yoga. That's not karma yoga. That's called being workaholic. Karma yoga means very, very different. Those of us who have studied the second chapter of Vedanta Vijnana Course, or the 18th chapter also, we had discussion of karma yoga. So now starts 2 verses. What is the first verse? Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadaye atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Next verse we are coming. Karmanyevadhikarast ma paleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. One more time.
Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani.
One more time, can you all look at me and say, without looking at the book?
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि.
Very good. What is the target? Before all the 5 shlokas we should, and we will chant to Pujya Swamiji for the convocation. Okay? So I should tell Pujya Swamiji Swarupanandaji is going to come for convocation. So I will tell him that all the students will be chanting for Pujya Swamiji the Gita Panchamritam without looking at the book. Can I tell? Okay. Today morning only I took blessings for all of you from Swamiji, for all of us. Before I started, Swamiji said, please give my wishes for all. So I will tell Swamiji, now they have all promised. Okay. Now what is the topic we are seeing? What is lift up yourself? That means what? Become a yoga arudha. Which means what? Unite with the Lord. Unite with the Lord is by knowledge. To know one's true nature is to unite with the Lord. But just knowing will not work. Knowing and abiding. For abidance, what do we need? Purity. And for purity, what we have to take off? Ego. And to take off the ego, what is the method? Karma Yoga. Okay? Now, on the topic of Karma Yoga. Karmanyevadhikaraste. Immediately, can you abide in that knowledge? No. Because purity is not there. Because purity is not there, I cannot abide in the knowledge. And abiding in that knowledge is called as Sankhya. Knowledge is called Sankhya. Second chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. Abiding in that knowledge, Sankhya Yoga. Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam. By jnana, by union with that knowledge, one is able to do that realization. Make that, but that is not possible now. And therefore, Bhagavan tells all of us, Karmanyevadhikaraste. Your right, your discipline, your sadhana, your adhikara is in karma. Because at this point of time, you don't have adhikara for abidance and knowledge. Adhikara means what? Adhikara is right. Right. Adhikara is authority. Adhikara is responsibility. All these words. Even though I may have the knowledge, I am consciousness. I cannot tell that everybody will have that knowledge. Okay? But if you have sufficiently done some deep thinking of Vedanta, you may have some, or you have listened to a lot of Vedanta, you will have this kind of, yes, I am consciousness. But are you living like consciousness? No, that's not possible. Knowing is one thing, living is another thing. Since I am not able to abide in this knowledge, therefore, for me, my sadhana is what? Karmani eva adhikaraha te. O Arjuna, Bhagavan has given in the second chapter to Arjuna a lot of understanding about self-knowledge. He has given. Yesha te bhita sankhe. I have given you a lot of knowledge, Arjuna, about the self. But then, even though that knowledge is there, that abidance is not there. Why abidance is not there? Purity is not there. Why purity is not there? Because ego is very strong. And in order to dissolve the ego, what is the solution? In order to sublimate the ego, what is the solution? In order to weaken the ego, what is the solution? In order to bring down the ego, what is the solution? Karma Yoga is the solution. Therefore, Karmani eva adhikaraha te. You are right. Your duty, your sadhana is what? In action. So take up action. What action should you take up? Take up your duties. What do you mean take up your duties? Do your duties. Karmani eva adhikaraha te. So what is this karma yoga? Which again will become clear in the next verse also. But here one point you need to note. Ma paleshu kadachana. Your right is to duty. Your right is to action. Your sadhana is in the realm of action. And when you are involved in that action, when you perform your duties, whatever actions you take up when you do it, how should you be? Ma paleshu kadachana. Ma paleshu kadachana. Ma paleshu kadachana. Ma paleshu adhikaraha kadachana astu. Don't put your mind into the result. That is the meaning. Karmani eva adhikaraha te. My right, your right is to action. Your right is to action. Your sadhana is an action. Your responsibility is for the action. Your scope of involvement is action. Ma paleshu kadachana. Don't keep the result as your scope of involvement. What do you mean by don't keep the result as a scope of your involvement? Do not be insistent upon results. What do you mean do not be insistent upon the result? Any action we do is for a result. But don't be insistent that you should get that result. You do your best. Don't do the action for the result. How that is possible? Action is always for accomplishing a result, no? How can you say don't do an action for the result? Yes, action is always for the result, but the result is for you. Am I not saying correct? Action is always for the result, but the result is for what? Result is for whom? For my happiness. Don't fall into this trap. Action is for result, but don't keep the result as a focus. Keep the Lord as a focus. What do you mean keeping the Lord as focus? It is like this. Action I do for getting a result, and the result I want for my happiness. Now bypass this. Bypass this. How do you bypass this? Can you please tell again? Action I do for a result, and result I want for my happiness. Bypass this. How do I bypass this? Action I don't do for result. Action I do it for God. And when I do action for God, then what happens? The result does not become important. And when the result does not become important, that means what? If result comes, result does not come, it doesn't matter. Because I have done it for God. This is called Karma Yoga. So when I say the scope of my attention is to be action, the scope of my attention is not to be the result. It does not mean that I don't have the result in the mind. Because an action is done for the result. And depending upon whether the result comes or not, you can calibrate the action also. Is it not? You can do changes in the action. Why? Keeping the result in mind. It is like this. Suppose you're cooking. Suppose you're cooking. Then you have a certain result. Is it not? The dish should come out beautiful. Nice, tasty it should come. So cooking is for getting Let's say, for example, what can I say example? The one who does not cook does not know what example to say. When you cook, let's say upma, you're cooking, simple, right? Upma should be certain. And after some time when you're doing that, you find that it's not become soft. Then what do? Add some more water and keep stirring. Suppose you find it is getting very, very, what you call hard and all those things. Again, you add some more water and you keep stirring. Is it not? Don't you keep the result in mind when you're doing? If you don't keep the result, can you make a perfect upma? Horrible upma it will become. Then in between, touch a little bit, you just take and see whether the salt is correct. Oh, salt is not, little more salt you add. Are you not keeping the result in mind? But suppose you are cooking for the Swamiji who is coming to your home. You are giving bhiksha. Result is there. But the result is not for your enjoyment. You are making the upma perfect for whom? For the guest who is coming. For the revered Swamiji who is coming to our home for bhiksha. Is it not? So action is for result. Keeping the result in mind, you are calibrating the action. But finally, it is not for you. It is for whom? It is for the guest. It's for the guest's happiness. Is it not? Here, the result is not important for yourself. The result is important for the guest. So perform the action. You will keep the result in the mind, because without keeping the result in mind, you can't do an action. But your mind is here in this context. What is happening here in the context? It is a guest who is coming. But in this context of the karma yoga, it is who is the one? It is the Lord. I am performing this action and I want a result also. But finally, it is for whom? Not for my happiness. It is for God's happiness. It is for God. Because I am doing it for God. And suppose the result does not come exactly the way you want. Because by performing the result, you feel that, somebody has not praised you. You have done all your work perfectly. You have done to the best possible extent you did it. But nobody is praising you. Nobody is, telling you what a wonderful worker, what a wonderful person you are. How you did your work, I tell you. Nobody can do it like this. Like that, nobody don't do anything. Even though the fact is, you have done it so perfectly. But still nobody is congratulating you. It doesn't matter. Why? You did not do it for yourself. You did it as worship. You did it as worship of the Lord. You did it for God's pleasure, God's happiness. And you have done your best. God knows it. I have done for God. You understand? So in this way, the result also becomes secondary. Your own happiness is not kept, but the joy of accomplishing that action well for the sake of the Lord is given the highest. The Lord becomes the altar of dedication. Okay? Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma paleshu. Your scope of attention is the action. Your responsibility, your realm of dedication is the action. Your realm is action and not the result. What you are getting out of it is not important. Both the action and the result, everything you offer it unto the Lord. And you say, Lord, I did this for you. I did not do it for my happiness. I did not do it for anybody to praise me. I did not do it for this or that. I did, Lord, for you. Ma paleshu Kadachana. Kadachana means what? It is not one time, morning I do like this, evening I do some for myself. Office I go for what to do. And then afterwards I have a hobby. I enjoy it. No, it's not like that. Kadachana. Kadachana means at no point of time. At no situation. At no point of time. Meaning all throughout. In every work that you do. But how that is possible? Some work I do for my children. Some work I do for my husband. Some work I do, I'm working in the office. Some work I do for the office. Meaning, everything, how can it be done for God? Kadachana is said, no? Puja I do for God. Then other things I do for. When I'm cooking my food, I'm doing it for my family. When I go to the office, I go and do it for my office. But Kadachana is said. That means what? When you're cooking your food for the family, this family I'm taking care because God has given me this responsibility. So your family also, you offer to the Lord. I have to cook very fast. And morning and all is very, very busy at home. The mother cooks so much, cooks so much. And if suppose she is also going to the office, by God, how much work she has to do? Packs up food for the husband, packs up food for the children. So much of work she is doing. And then she herself has to go, rush up and return back. And then again get ready. Non-stop work is there. But all through, what does she think? She as a karma yogin will think this. This is the family God has given me. Taking care of them is my duty. As a mother, I will do this. As a wife, I do this. She does. And then going to the office, it is done for that office. Whatever work is there, she does it to the best of her capacity. Every day you cannot do the best. Sometimes your health may not be good. Still you do your best. You are doing your best. But whether the action is the best, can't be said always. Because body is not under control. Mind is also not under control. Someday the mind is fresh. Someday the mind is dull. But in spite of it, you are doing your best. That is what is meant. But all of them, in the office also, God has given me this opportunity to work. And I am doing my best. My manager, horrible fellow, doesn't understand at all. It doesn't matter. You are not doing for the manager. Your boss is Bhagwan. You're doing your best. Or a very appreciative boss you have. Small thing he does also, he appreciates. Why? Because his technology is this. A little more appreciation, more work I can get. You are not doing for this boss. Ma paleshu kadachana. Remember, ma paleshu kadachana should not confuse you. Because keeping the result only you can do the action. Keeping the result. But result should not be the overriding most important factor. Because the action and the result, everything is offered unto the Lord. There should not be any over insistence upon a result. But your insistence is on doing your best. I do my best. Mahapaleshu kadachana. Meaning every moment, in everything that you do, you are all doing it. You are doing it for the Lord. If you do it for a result, then what will happen? To enjoy that result, you will have to go through that samsara. Any action done with the result in mind, you will have to be there to get the result. One who does the action for the result will have to be there to experience the result. Whereas the one who does the action not for the result but just for God's happiness is freed from samsara. Karmantyeva adhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. Ma paleshu adhikaraha kadachana astu. That means what? Paleshu, in the results. Ma paleshu, not in the results. Adhikaraha, your scope of thinking, your scope of responsibility, your scope of action. Ma paleshu kadachana astu. Let it not be there at any point of time. Thus. So what does this statement say? Karmanyevadhikaraste says, give total attention to action. Ma paleshu kadachana. That means what? Give your attention all to God. God, the Lord, is the altar of your devotion. But I do not know who is Lord. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you know rightly about God or not. God knows who He is. You don't worry, I do not know God, but God knows you are doing it for Him. How much does the child know the father or the mother for that matter? A child says, I am doing everything. My mother should be happy, that's why I am studying well. Or my father should be happy, I am studying well. Does the child know the mother and the father fully? No. But the mother and the father know the child is studying so hard to make me happy. Is it not? And even if the child returns back with a little less marks, a wise mother and father knows the child has put the best. Very good son, very good beta, you did well. But the fellow has not got that much. He is weak in certain subject. Mathematics is weak. But he has put his best. The father knows, put his best. So appreciations. Is it not? Only a foolish mother and father will say, Buddhu. The fellow did not study well, you should say Buddhu. But the fellow has studied well, did his best. Then you should only appreciate, is it not? So don't think whether I know God very well or not to offer my actions to God. Doesn't matter. God is wise, He knows you. He knows you. He knows my cute but yet stupid son is working hard for me. That is sufficient. Let us give a smile to the Lord and let Lord smile. That's sufficient. And thus, ma karma pala heturbuhu. See the next line? Ma karma pala hetuhu buhu. May you not be such a person for whom karma pala, the result of the action, is the cause for the action. Ma karma pala heturbuhu. Thus means what? Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. Thus, don't be such a person for whom the karma pala is the cause for the action. Are you able to understand? Evam ma karma pala heturbuhu. Evam, thus. In this manner. In this manner means what? By focusing upon action and not focusing upon the result. By focusing upon the action and focusing upon the Lord. Thus, don't be. Thus, in this manner, ma karma pala heturbuhu. Don't be a person for whom the result of the action is the cause for the action. Don't be one for whom the result of the action is the inspiration for action. The result of the action is the cause for the action. To keep the result of action as the cause for action is to keep the ego as the altar of action. To keep the result of action as the cause for action is to keep the ego as the altar of action. Are you following the statement? To keep the result as the cause for action, as the focus of action, to keep the result as a focus of action or the cause for action is to make the ego the altar of action. Because result of action you are keeping focus. Why? For your own happiness. Ma karma palaheturbuhu. At the same time, mate sangaha astu akarmani. In this way, if the result of the action is not the inspiration for your action, then you should not think, well, then why should I do? What am I getting? I am getting nothing. For God's happiness I have to do. What do I get? Mate sangaha astu akarmani. Don't be attached to inaction. Akarmani. Don't be attached to inaction. Be one for whom the result of the action is not the inspirer of action. But because the result of the action is not your focus, that means the ego is not the focus. Therefore, don't fall, don't slip into this slumber. Don't slip into laziness. Don't slip into inadvertence. Don't slip into carelessness. Mate sangaha astu akarmani. May you not be attached to inaction because you have nothing to gain. No. Give your best and let the delight of the Lord be your happiness. So perform your actions, not for gaining the results, perform your actions as an offer of worship unto the Lord. And thus, don't keep the result of action as the cause for your action. But because the result of action is not under your purview for action, do not slip into indolence. Do not fall into laziness. Rather, ever be alert because you are doing everything for the Lord. Okay? This is the message of this very famous verse. And what is this verse? Can we all chant together? Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. Now 2 verses we have seen. What is the first verse? Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanamavasadaye atmaiva hyatmano bandhu
आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।